We've lived a very active life yourself, and some of the young people here have seen you, and they've grown up with you on Reading Rainbow and Star Trek, and I was trying to encourage you to come back to your roots here in terms of Annapolis representing a distinct heritage within your acting career. So we hope that still happens at some point. But I think RJ had a
Absolutely.
question for you in terms of continuing this road of you said reading was one of the things that brought you peace, and
Hmm.
the documentary hopefully encourages sort of self-study as well as
Yes,
the other authors that you'll have on the documentary to encourage people to read about. So RJ,
absolutely.
you wanted to ask LeVar a question?
Yes. Why do you think studying the science of peace is important today?
Well, I think that we're at a really a unique opportunity in time right now. Um, there is a lot of wisdom, ancient wisdom as well as modern wisdom, that indicates that we are actively engaged in a unique space-time nexus in consciousness. And I think it's important that we really look at this issue right now, because never before in the history of humanity have we ever had the opportunity to create our our reality from a place of awareness more than now. Um, we are human beings are manifesting machines, and one of the things that we want to explore in the documentary is how that process of manifestation happens. What is the formula? What is the recipe for creating miracles in our lives? And the miraculous in this day and time is has become um, almost common, and how we tap into that truth that we do in fact create everything we experience in this realm from a place of consciousness or unconsciousness. Tapping into that truth, into that reality, is the future of humanity as far as I can tell.
And how can each person better understand what the science of peace is?
Ooh, well, it's a personal journey, isn't it? I mean, we are all here for a very specific purpose. I firmly believe that at the very core of my being, that we're all here for a reason. And once we discover what that reason is, and I happen to believe that we're all here to make a contribution. Each and every soul is destined to contribute part of their greatness, part of their piece of peace to the peace puzzle. And when you find out what your contribution is, what your piece is, it is, I think, our responsibility. Responsibility, if you break that word into two, the ability to respond to a situation is what being human is all about. The responsibility to bring to the party all of your energy, all of your passion, all of your intelligence, your wit, your humor, um, your fears, your foibles. Bring it all to the table in the service of leaving this place a better world than it was when we got here.
I kind of want to wrap up this portion of the DVD because this is what we'll show at the event, and to share
Mm-hmm.
with as many people as possible, and then maybe we continue to dialogue. So I wanted to allow for some other questions here and sort of in summary of what we just talked about. So Remy, you had a question?
Yes. So far in your research and study, what
Mm-hmm.
do you think, what would be the best course of actions for ordinary people, even if it's just a little change in what they do in their day-to-day lives? What kind of things can we do to speed along the process?
I think the most critical, the most important small change, and it's a brilliant point, that it is the small changes that over time can have great impact. And I think the single most important small change that we might make on an individual basis is to become more aware of what we are thinking. Human beings tend to communicate in one of three modalities: through the thoughts we think, the words we speak, and the actions that we take. And it has been proven unequivocally that the most powerful way of communicating is through the thoughts that we think. Everything in this realm began first with a thought. There is no thing in this universe that did not begin with first a thought, either in the mind of God or the mind of man, which in my view is in fact the same thing. So being really conscious of the thoughts that we are thinking is the first step in the process of cracking the code to the miraculous on a mundane level.
I would like to add something to that. That was
Please.
beautifully put. Is that that, as LeVar points out, it's becoming so acutely aware in every second how you respond to others that you can, it's almost like a bullet is coming towards you and you can catch it and take a look at it without it hurting you or hitting you, and then you react in some way. It's being that sharp and aware. So if you see an interaction between two people, rather than going in there making a judgment, which comes, or criticizing, or making it about yourself, just watch and become aware and ask yourself, what need are those people trying to get met? And as soon as you do that, you sort of disengage yourself from the equation, and it stops becoming a volatile, even an energetic experience, and one where you're responding to the world. You're looking and observing and asking the question, because we're all trying to get our needs met, no matter what. And look at it from that perspective. I think that makes sense. It has, anyway, for me, made an enormous difference, just in the way I relate to my daughter or the people around me.
Well, I do want to continue this dialogue, and for our purposes for the event, though, I think we're going to sort of get a closure here and then continue talking and hopefully have a follow-up to the event. That the rest of the videotape that we'll do today will be part of that as well. So I did want to acknowledge thanking LeVar Burton here and Olivia Barham on behalf of the Science of Peace, and then our guests here with R.J. Pavel and Sarah Charles and Osiremi Chikojai and myself, Alice Jaeger, on behalf of us for the event for June 21st, our anniversary of the Inner Peace Tree event. So anyway, thank you again for that. We're going to just take a brief pause here and then continue again, hopefully to talk about some more of this in a future event.
Peace.
Thank you.